Welcome to today's bridal episode. So you can see how flawless my model's skin looks. She looks pretty and she looks yummy. We are trying to do a transition, so straight into putting lens on the eyes. Yeah, you should know how to fix your lens as a makeup artist, lash artist, whichever one you fall into. Learn how to fix your lens because it will help you a lot. So yeah, after that I went in with brushing the brows, but I noticed that there was nothing on her brows, so I just brushed what I could brush. After that I went in with sweat block from Julia Diamond Cosmetics. I'm applying the sweat block on the brows. Reasons why I'm applying the sweat block on the brows is because I want her skin to be properly mattified, after which I'll be going in with another sweat block again from CPD. Sorry, this time around it's not sweat block, it's a micellar cleansing water. That's what I went in with. I avoid cleaning the place I applied the sweat block. So after that I went in with my moisturizer, my lip moisturizer from Nia Beauty. Yeah, see, one thing is to properly moisturize the lips. If you don't properly moisturize the lips, you wouldn't get a good result. So after that I went in with the sweat block from my Cheek Beauty. I apply more of sweat block because my model sweats a lot. Yeah, so after that I went in with primer to mattify the face. Okay, went in with primer. The primer I'm using is for LD to mattify the face properly. This skin work I'm doing if for someone that have very oily skin. Oh. So if you observe, I did not apply primer under the eyes because the eyes are very sensitive. Now I went in with moisturizer. This moisturizer, I've had it for long. I've been using it. It's from La Vida Cosmetics. I've been using this moisturizer for long. One thing about me is that, see, I don't just buy and buy and buy and buy and buy. I learn how to manipulate my things. So I would say, yeah, that's the secret. After that, I'm going in with foundation. The foundation I'm using is a foundation from Elegance Beauty. Yeah, I'm trying to check the shade. It's more like called swatch. You heard of swatch? Swatch means checking out from different shade that suits the skin. Okay, so after that I'll be going in with blending the skin. Now after that I will just blend in the whole foundation. I did different shades of foundation. I will just blend it in, then use her normal skin tone to blend overall. When it comes to blending, take your time. See, you can rush the lips, you can rush the maybe eyeshadow, but you see the skin work is something you cannot rush. Even when you try to rush, you wouldn't get a good result. So try not to rush. Okay, after blending I'll be going in with blush. But the blush I'm using is from my lip palette. Please, for light skin like this, I want you to use orange. Don't use red like me. Use orange, please. I couldn't find my light orange. I had to use very dark orange. If you're working on a light skin, please use orange. If you're working on a dark skin, you can use red. If you're working on a chocolate skin, please mix the two. So the places I will apply contour is the places I will apply my blush. Mind you, I don't do cream contour. I do only powder contour. So I went in applying my concealer. The concealer I'm using is from Davilas. Davilas concealer is the concealer I'm using. Okay. So there's one thing about this Davilas concealer, is a matte concealer. When they say something is matte, they mean that that thing dries out quick. You get? So it's a matte concealer. So it dries out quick. So as a makeup artist, you're advised to blend immediately as soon as you apply, so you don't make your work look tacky or sticky. Now you blend from the outer corner to the inner corner. Once the foundation is looking as if it's dried and it's not blending properly, go in with the foundation you used on their skin. That's why it's good to have that plate. Observe where I'm holding a metal on my hand. You go in with that shade of foundation you use on their skin, apply it, and then blend the concealer. You would see that it will blend properly. Now after blending, I'm going in with powder from her skin tune, like overall powder from her skin tune, to blend the face. You can use you can use a single powder of her skin tone to blend the skin flawlessly. But you should always know that if you use a single powder of her skin to blend the skin properly before applying the setting powder, you will get a perfect finish because everywhere is properly blended. So you can go in with your brush. You can go in with your blending foam, whichever one that is suitable for you. But just blend until you get a flawless result. Now I blend down to the neck because I want the whole face to look alike. After that, I went in with a shade that looks like her skin, but one shade darker. That's where my powder contour comes in. I go in with a shade that looks like your skin, but one shade darker. Your powder contour don't need to be too harsh. You should also blend until you're satisfied with the result. Now for setting the face, I went in with Gentle Dove setting powder. This is a powder I must recommend for everyone. This is a powder I must recommend for everyone because it gives this effect of a high-end brand. Now, after applying the powder at the places I applied my highlight, I went in again with a blush, but this time around a powder blush, to touch what I actually touched before, so it doesn't lose its placement. The brush I'm using is from Nubound Beauty. It's called their contour brush. So I was wondering why these brows were not on the video, but anyway, it's fine. I would still give a bonus class just for brows tutorial, so you will see the brows. So after that, I went in with my powder palette and I took the dark shade there and I blended it. I don't like using eyeshadow to blend at this stage. I prefer using a powder to blend. Powder blends more than eyeshadows. Now I went in with a dark black to give it that touch of darkness. What I'm using as my dark black is my kajal I use for under eye. So one thing for you to know is to know how to use certain products. Okay, so you blend and blend and blend. Blend until you get a flawless result. Now I went in using a very light red to blend the eyes the way I want it to look like. Now, even if you want to use a very harsh color, always blend with powder first. When it's fully blended, you can now add the eyeshadow color that you want. Now for the glue, I went in with Cheers. After the glue application, you can now apply pigment of your choice. The glue helps to hold the pigments. So this is the look I'm actually doing. What you do to the left, you do to the right. After that, I blend it properly and evenly to make sure there is no harsh line again. After that, I went in with another shade. The first shade I went in with was a goldish brown. The shade I'm going next in with is more like a greenish gold, so I just use them to mix. You should blend your pigment properly, if not you wouldn't get a good result. So this blending brush is what I use for blending. Remember I said I love using my powder palette as a kit for blending. So yeah, I had to place the lashes. The lashes are placed directly on top of the lashes, not on the skin. Now I went in with a fixing spray. There is a two different thing between a setting spray and a fixing spray. A setting spray makes your makeup to sink in, but the makeup can still move. While a fixing spray makes your makeup to set in again, and then your makeup would not move. Like if you tap tissue on the makeup or serve it on the makeup, it will not move. So that's the difference. So you usually spray it almost close to rounding off your glam. Now I moisturize the lips using the lip moisturizer from Nia Beauty Cosmetics. After that, I went in with a single lip stain I bought from Trade Fair. I've forgotten the brand, but I know it's an affordable lip stain I bought from Trade Fair. Very affordable and nice. After I finished blending, I had to apply the cream highlight. I almost forgot, so I decided to apply the cream highlight before I forget. The places where applying the cream highlights are the highlight regions. What are your highlight regions? Your highlight regions are regions that are lighter than the skin tone, while the contour regions are regions that are darker than the skin tone. So that is how to know your highlight regions. And the places you conceal with the concealer are called highlights, just in case you're confused. The places you use a darker shade to apply is called contour. So in order to blend the lips evenly, I told her to smile properly. See, there's one thing I always tell my students: you can do a good glam ball if your presentation is very wrong, like your photography is not giving. Trust me, your makeup will not look flawless, even if it looks flawless real life. So after outlining with a dark pencil, I used a random black pencil to outline the lips. I went in with a brown lips from Davila's Cosmetics. I'm so in love with this brand. I must confess, I'm not trying to hype the brand or something, but this is a brand that I can vouch for. Okay, so I recommend you get it. It's nice. Davila's Cosmetics is nice, trust me. So after that, I went in with the brown. I blended properly. After blending properly, I went in with gloss. The gloss I'm using is from Classic NG. All these people I'm calling, they're all on IG. They are not on Facebook. Please check on IG, you will see them. Now for the gloss application, try not to apply too much, because if you apply too much, you'll end up ruining up your lip blend. So because I applied a little bit of gloss, it was pulling out. I had to top it up with the same lip stain I used. So I'm going in with my bronzer from Yanga Beauty. The brush I'm using is from Nuban Beauty highlight brush. That is what I'm using. And the places I'm applying this bronzer is on the highlight regions. I already explained the meaning of highlight regions. Now for the nose, I use a smaller brush. Don't use a wide brush, because the nose, you're trying to make it look tiny. So you're going with a smaller brush. The places you have to apply, you apply them. See, don't go and apply too much bronzer. It will not make sense. Your client or your model will look like masquerade. When they want to step out, they'll be shy. So try to do a work that they are so suitable and comfortable in their skin. So yeah, this is the end product of this job without filter. This is how your work ought to look like without filter. So many people come my DM and be like, this was the app you use in editing. They come out so well. If you don't do a good job, if your light setup is not nice, if you edit it, it will look very blurry and dusty. In fact, it will look very tacky. You will not even like it. So yeah, see you in my next class. Bye.